Have you ever wondered why some offers seem to sell effortlessly while others require endless convincing, constant discounting, and exhausting amounts of hustle? The truth is, it is not always the offer itself that makes the difference. It is the invisible architecture behind it. Invisible architecture is what separates an offer that feels irresistible from one that feels like just another option in a crowded market. It is not flashy. It is not loud. It is subtle, intentional, and often unnoticed, but it makes the entire experience feel seamless. And when you get it right, your offers begin to sell themselves. That might sound almost too good to be true. Offers don't really sell themselves, do they? Not without you. But when you build invisible architecture into your brand, the selling feels less like persuasion and more like inevitability. Here's what I mean. Think of an art gallery. The walls are white, the lighting is perfect, the floor is polished. You almost don't notice any of it. But if the lights were too harsh, or the walls were painted neon, or the floor was cracked, the artwork wouldn't feel the same. The environment frames the experience. That is what invisible architecture does for your offers. It is the environment that frames the way people perceive your value. There are 3 main layers to this invisible architecture. The first is expectation design. Before anyone buys from you, they have already formed an impression. Invisible architecture is what shapes that impression. The way your website feels, the confidence of your messaging, the clarity of your pricing. These are not loud signals, but they are powerful ones. They tell your audience, this is a premium space and this is a premium offer. When expectation design is missing, clients come in uncertain. They hesitate. They question your value. But when it is strong, the buying decision feels natural. The second layer of invisible architecture is psychological cues. Luxury brands know this better than anyone. They use cues like scarcity, exclusivity, and restraint to create desire. They don't flood you with options. They curate. They edit. They leave white space. Invisible architecture does the same thing for your offers. Instead of overwhelming people with a menu of packages, you guide them toward a single, obvious choice. Instead of filling your sales page with endless features, you highlight the transformation. You use cues that make the brain say, this is the solution I have been looking for. The cues are invisible, but the impact is undeniable. The third layer is seamless pathways. Think about how frustrating it is when you are ready to buy something online, but the checkout process is clunky. The form doesn't load. The button doesn't work. The process feels messy. Invisible architecture eliminates friction. It creates a smooth, elevated pathway from interest to purchase. That might mean your site loads instantly, or your scheduling link feels effortless, or your onboarding feels tailored and thoughtful. These things don't get talked about in sales calls. No one says, wow, your checkout page was elegant. But subconsciously, it matters. Because when the pathway is seamless, the decision feels safe. And here's the thing. None of this architecture is flashy. It is not the big headline. It is not the bold claim. It is the subtle scaffolding that supports the entire buying experience. When you get it right, people don't feel like they are being sold to. They feel like they are stepping into a structure that was designed for them all along. That is the difference between an offer that struggles and an offer that sells with ease. Invisible architecture doesn't replace substance. You still need a strong offer. You still need expertise, transformation, and value. But without invisible architecture, even the best offers fall flat. It is the difference between someone thinking, I'll think about it, and someone saying, this feels right, let's do it. The beauty of it is that once it is built, it works quietly in the background. You don't have to keep convincing. You don't have to keep pushing. The architecture holds the weight for you.